Hello everyone, today I will not be talking about IEMs. In fact, I'll be talking about something that I rarely touch on this channel, and that is cables. Today is a cable provided to me from Lavricable, so they were kind enough to provide me their Master Line series in full balance mode to let me just try out and give my honest opinion. I did tell them that it's going to be a very honest opinion because cables are something I don't really touch often, at least for reviews. And that's because personally, I have never found a good relationship between price of cable to the sound quality. Of course, very lousy cables do sound not so great because of the mechanical issues, but expensive cables, affordable cables, extremely extravagant cables, I have never found a link between price to sound quality at least. But that being said, a lot of time you buy cables, at least for me, I don't buy cables due to sound quality. I buy cables really on impulse because I try it and I think it looks cool, and I sometimes buy it purely for aesthetics reason like this. Now this cable is a pure copper cable from China. I know some of you guys will say it looks something like from another company, but I can just tell you when I first purchased this cable, I have no idea about it. I just saw it at CanJam and I was like, huh, let's try it out. And it is not a cheap cable, it's still about 100 plus. And I asked, this is pretty much the lowest price they can go for the material they're providing. And I think it looks cool. I mean, it looks thick and nice for a cable itself. So when I purchased this cable, it was purely on aesthetics, the main reason. And secondly, when I tried it against other cables at the booth, I thought it was the coolest among them, both in terms of sound and looks. So yeah, take it for what it is. But enough of that. So today we'll talk about Lavricable a bit more, and they reached out to me to review this particular cable here. Now this is a Litz type cable, multiple strands of Litz cable inside, and then braided together, and it is a true balance cable, so with all 4 pins and enough cables to power each side. So this is pretty much it. The price is about 300 USD based on their website prices. Is it expensive? I think if you look at cable market as a whole, ignoring China itself, this is pretty much in the above average type of price, but definitely not the most expensive. 300 USD. This cable itself is done with Litz cables braided inside, and you can see from the video here, it looks actually pretty nice internally. Now, normally I don't talk about cables because the difference between them are really small. So today is the first time for me listening to this cable. I'll give you my very honest opinion versus this copper cable, which is as different as it gets. I also tried to burn in the cable before listening today, so I give it the best chance. I mean, the burn-in is something that the manufacturer recommends, so I will honor what they recommend and try it out. So without wasting time, let me try it with my U12T and my Shuntling M9 Plus, giving it the best chance to see whether is there a difference between this particular cable and this copper one. So I have tried this cable out. I swapped between them, and then I tried to record what difference do I hear. And I can tell you it's very little. There's only 3 differences I detected. Now, the first difference was that it feels like the mids are more focused on this cable itself. The Lavricable, the Master Line series, feels a little bit more focused, while this particular cable feels a bit more dispersed. For the mids, soundstage wise, there seems to also be a slight difference. This one has a bit more height, while this one is a bit more flatter but spread out left to right. But this particular difference is very small, even smaller than the difference I talked about before, between the focus and not focus. That feels a bit more obvious than this. And the last difference is the rendition of the bass. This one seems to be a bit more, I say, cleaner, but with less decay, while this one feels like it's a bit more boomier, but it feels a bit more energy, more, more vibration to it. This one, again, very small difference, not too sure whether is it even something that, if you give me a blind test, I can pick it out. Kind of difference. So that's pretty much it. These are the 3 differences between the cables itself. And now, this cable is a silver Litz, right? So I have tried other cables from other brands, and I never once did a review before, but it kind of coincides with my observation of copper cable versus silver cable, and copper cable always tend to sound a bit more dispersed, silver cable always tend to sound a bit more focused. I'm not sure whether this is always the case, but at least for me, that is the impression I have, like testing this like the third or fourth silver cable versus my countless copper cables itself. The thing is, do I recommend this cable? Cables are tricky things, and I do not want to talk about recommending them, because once again, my own preference of buying cable has always been an impulse one, has always been something because it looks cool. Now, if you ask me, does this cable looks cool? Yes, it looks cool, it feels nice, and in fact, it's a very good quality cable. Like, look at me, just, anyhow wrapping it around, and it doesn't tangle up. So I do think that the quality of the cable is there. It looks pretty good inside. It looks pretty good like this. Purely for aesthetics, I may actually consider it. But for sound quality, I'm not too sure. The difference is very minor. There is some difference, but it seems to be a common difference I always felt when I look at silver cable. Notice that I say look at silver cable, because there's no way I can do this blind tested, because it feels totally different to rest even of my ears. It's pretty tough. But yes, this is my impression of the Lavricable Master Line. Overall, when it comes to build quality, when it comes to look, I think this is very solid looking, very nice to feel. The plugs are also very good. No complaints on the physical part of things. But when it comes to sound quality, there are three minor differences again. The dispersion, it always feels less dispersed than a copper cable. It feels the bass a bit tighter, and the soundstage rendition is slightly different. But all these are very, very small differences, and whether do you believe in them or not is a total different question, right? And that's about it. This is my very quick first look of the Lavricable Master Line. And if you're interested in it, of course, go down and visit them. But personally, cables are a very interesting topic, and I just want to know how many of you guys actually believe in them. Do write down your comments below, because I want to hear from you guys whether do you believe in spending more money on cable. Personally, for me, I do spend money on cable, but purely for aesthetics reasons. Rarely do I think sound quality is my number one purpose. I do think there's some difference, but not too sure, right? And that's why I hope you enjoyed this short little video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.